My name's Dawn Adams. I'm from Families Against Corporate Killers. I'm one of the founder members. I joined the group to try and help people because when they've had family deaths in the workplace, my son was 6 years old when he was killed in a shopping centre when a fixed razor fell on him, and that was 13 years ago, and it completely affects your life for the rest of your own life. We've come today to help out with the Crane disaster, so we can talk to the ministers, hopefully, if they come down and stop the deregulation of both all the codes of practices, CDM regs, construction design and management regulations, and all the other regulations that try to get rid of.
And would you realistically hope that your protest today might achieve?
We're hoping that the protest will achieve something. There's a lot of protests going on because a lot of people disagree with current government legislation and policies, and we're one of the many groups that are doing it, and we've got to do it on our loved ones' behalf, really, because we didn't agree with what happened to them. It shouldn't have happened to them, and we want people to know what went on in the past and what's like going on at the moment and what will happen in the future. It's got to be stopped, because if they deregulate it anymore, there'll be more.
I'm Hilda Palmer. I'm the acting chair of the National Hazards Campaign and facilitator of the and we're here today because at the moment our period of consultation finishes tomorrow on revoking 14 sets of regulations, including the tower crane notification regs, the construction hard hat, head protection regulations and the dock regulations, and it's part of a whole attack on health and safety that includes removing approved codes of practice and revising guidance and generally getting rid of law and weakening the whole system, and an attack on enforcement which is going to make workers much less safe and healthy at work.
What would you like to see the government do in response to today's protest?
Stop reviewing health and safety in this way. They've already cut the HSE by 35% and they're now spending all their time on these meaningless bits of consultation. To accept that health and safety is not a burden on business, it actually saves money, it saves lives, it saves health. Poor health and safety costs this country between 40 and 60 billion pounds a year, and of that employers pay less than 25%. Families and individuals who are hurt pay 55%. The state, us, pick up the rest in health and benefit costs. It's not a burden on business. Poor health and safety is a massive burden on the whole economy, so we'd ask them to stop this neoliberal nonsense based on no evidence at all. Health and safety, good health and safety, is not a burden on business. It's good for everybody. It's good for the economy.
Thanks for turning up. It's a nice turnout here. I think everyone knows what we're here for. This is a beginning of a process taking place by the HSE and the government with a background that they want to get rid of health and safety culture. And the reason for this protest today is because tomorrow the HSE are ending the consultation, that is anyone writing into the HSE or meeting room to object or support their proposals. This is the beginning of a whole series, 35 proposals to consolidate health and safety regulations. In the climate we're in, I think you all will be aware of what that could mean. So the alarm bells are ringing for us. They're ringing today, and we want them to ring every other day until we know that what we've got in the past and what we've had to fight for, we haven't got anything for nothing, and that includes the crane registration regulations. Only 2 years ago that we got that, and we were told at the time they would have a 12-month review for the purpose of enforcing those regulations, because registration of cranes on their own is not good enough. We have to have more to it than that. They obviously failed because between 2010 and 2006, 10 workers were killed as a result of cranes collapsing, let alone collision of cranes, objects falling from cranes, deaths involved in that type of activity. So this is a massive issue for us. I understand there may be a delegation going on inside in the place here in a minute, asking for Chris Grayling, the Minister, to come out and meet us. And I think he has to do, up to now I understand he's refused to meet relatives of killed workers. That's workers in all industry. Although we're protesting here today about the crane proposals, we're here also about health and safety of all workers and their families and what it does to them. Make that very clear. This is not a single issue about cranes, but it is the beginning of a deregulation process. That's why we're here, as I've said. So I think we're going to be carrying this message, and I know we're carrying this message directly into Parliament. We have a meeting at 2 o'clock. We have a whole range of speakers in Parliament, and we've also got an early day motion, which is a motion in Parliament, which has just started. 12 MPs have already signed up to that motion. We're looking forward to a lot more. And we hope some of you here today have contacted your MPs, and if possible, try to do that today as well. So we want everyone to turn up for that meeting in room 11 in Parliament today. So let us set the agenda. Our agenda is that we are not giving up our health and safety rights. We want them strengthened. They're not even good enough. Not just the question of regulations, but the lack of enforcement, of cutting back on the health and safety inspections, inadequate fines and prosecutions that are taking place. So it's us that has to go on to the attack here. So I don't want to say any more than that. Just to say that while we're here also remembering all those that have died in industry. That's our purpose here, to say that we're not having any more people killed in industry. That's why we're here. We're here for that cause.
I'm Kevin Williamson. I'm the chair of the National Committee for Construction for United Union, obviously construction section. I've been a construction worker on big sites in central London for over 40 years. I have seen the difference in safety culture over that time. When I first went to work in the late 60s, people were getting injured all the time. That was before the introduction of safety helmets, before the introduction of safety boots. These things are very important to us. They're basic safety issues to us. The removal of the regulations to us would be a retrograde step. When I first went on the construction site, we were having, over 300 fatalities a year, I think. Now it's been cut down to 60. It's still too many, but these regulations have assisted in the past. As for cranes, well, there was a time last year when you was afraid to walk under a crane, with the amount of cranes that were coming down, people getting killed, people getting injured. Again, we think the crane regulations are necessary for a safe construction industry.
So why are you here today? I mean, what do you hope the protest today will achieve, and why did you support it?
Well, I think that the amount of people here and the diverse organisations represented, not only trade unions but other groups, prove that there is an undercurrent protest against these regulations being removed. You can't really judge the figures on safety at the moment, but the minute you take the regulations away, you will see a rise.